Hello and welcome to episode 6 of Blooming Where You Are. We are in the Blooming in Pregnancy. My name is Andrea. I'm here with my co-host Maddie, who is also my daughter and who is also pregnant. The last few episodes we've been talking about nutrition with intention. We went through whole foods, we went through eating whole foods, not processed foods. We talked last week about eating more grains, more beans, seeds, and nuts, and we talked about soaking them. We talked about how to cook them in a slow way that's easier on the digestion. And we gave Maddie an assignment last week.
Sure did.
We gave her a grain, which was it, buckwheat?
It was buckwheat and mince and beans.
Chickpeas,
Yeah.
I think it was. Right, yeah. So we want to hear how Maddie's experience was last week of doing something brand new. She's never cooked grains this way or beans. And we want to hear how it went for her, what was easy, what was hard. Did she feel any different in her body? Let's talk about that first before we get going.
Okay, with the buckwheat, I felt like the best thing to do was mix it with oatmeal in the morning. And I definitely felt a difference in my digestive tract.
Tell us about that.
Well,
What was it beforehand? Like, what was going on in your body before you started?
my digestive system was moving really slow. Like, I would not...
Have a bowel movement every day?
Yes.
You should have a bowel movement 1 or 2 a day. So you were going how far, would you say?
At least a day in between.
Okay, so every 2 days perhaps?
Yeah, and I had buckwheat, and it was almost instantly.
Instantly cleaned out?
Instantly.
No stress, no strain. It was just very
Yeah,
easy going.
It was
and
very easy.
yeah,
And, it tasted really good with oatmeal and cinnamon.
Did you try it any other way?
No. We just stuck with the oatmeal. I shared it with my baby, and we enjoyed it.
Oh, nice, nice. Well, that's great because that was one thing that we did talk a lot about last week is how easy it is on the digestion and how when you're pregnant, your digestive tract does slow down and you're experiencing that. So that's good. I'm happy to hear that. What about your chickpeas? Was anything with that?
With those, I actually didn't do anything.
One thing at a time, one
They're
thing at a
still in my
time.
fridge. I need to figure out what to do with them.
Have you cooked them yet?
No.
Okay. You could just put those in a pot with some water and simmer it for like an hour.
Yeah.
Just to get them mushy.
And then I was thinking, once I do that, to have a chickpea salad and do like red bell peppers and a little dressing and beans.
Oh, that's a great way to do it.
Yeah, whatever else you put in those.
All right, well, that's your challenge this week is to get those
I
chickpeas
need to
cooked
get them
up
cooked.
and cooked and utilized. That's what we want to do is try to do at least 1 grain, 1 bean a week and get in a steady rhythm. Do you think, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but do you think it would be easier if you had support or like a group of people who are doing it? You know, a lot of my neighbors come together and do like user meals. Do you think it'd be easier to have people that you could do this with?
I think it definitely would be easier. Or at least somebody that does, at least one person that does it with me.
AKA mom right now. Well, I did do my own too. I actually did millet last week and I really enjoyed that. In fact, I had a millet porridge this morning with a little bit of yogurt and avocados.
Is that what
A
you
little
gave
bit of
me? Was
salt.
millet or is it mint?
Oh yeah, no, you got millet. I don't know what mints are. I should have
swear
asked you about
said,
that.
This is mint.
Oh no, millet. The
Oh.
little tiny grains?
Yeah,
no,
okay.
that's millet.
This whole time I thought it was
See?
called mint.
And I think sometimes these grains are intimidating because we're unfamiliar with them. We don't know what they are. We don't know what they're called. I'm going to introduce another grain to Maddie and we'll do it together every week, maybe on Sundays. And if anybody wants to join us as well, we'll just make Sunday our soak day for the rest of the week and let's experiment. So this week I found a grain at my local Good Earths. They have a bulk section, which I find really helpful because they're a lot cheaper that way. And I do recommend organic, but this is farro. It's one of the oldest grains out there. And so we're going to try it. I've never tried farro, but we'll soak some. I'll give some to Maddie. This is a 24-hour soak because they are bigger grains. So once we're done with this podcast, we'll just get them soaking for tomorrow and then we can slow cook them. You can do it in your thermos. That'll be a very easy thing. And I'll figure out mine. Last week was about adding more healthy foods into your diet and not stressing so much about foods to avoid, right? We haven't really talked about foods to avoid, but I do want to just bring up a list of ones that are pretty much no-nos in pregnancy, and obviously smoking, alcohol, no-nos in pregnancy.
Obviously, yeah.
You want to stay away from highly processed foods. We're talking chips, packaged snacks, artificial ingredients, food dyes. Anything like this will cause inflammation and increased discomfort. Refined sugars, no candies. If you're going to do it, find alternatives. There's so many good alternatives as far as sweeteners go. You could make some healthier treats for yourself. Try to stay away from seed oils, vegetable oils. Red meat, there's a lot of midwives that recognize that a woman that has red meat that's heavy in her diet will have a heavier bleed during her labor. And so we want to stay clear of the red meats as much as possible. And if that's hard, just limit them then. Dairy is another one that can stress the digestion and the kidneys. It causes a lot of mucus. Excessive salt, anything that's pretty much raw eggs, sushi with raw fish, undercooked meats, high mercury fish. We probably should just stay away from that, period, whether you're pregnant or not. Now we're going to switch gears into this episode where I'm going to introduce the 5 essentials supplements for pregnancy. It is about understanding why certain support matters. And the whole foods, those we talked about, is the foundation. And now we're going to build up on that, because even with trying to eat the best you can, there are still probably going to be gaps. The food that we get today is just not as nutrient as it once was.
No, I read something that if you wanted the same nutrients as an orange from the 1960s, you'd have to have 4 oranges.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, that's incredible. Yeah. And we don't really think about that. So I'm glad you shared that with us, because this is why we want to supplement with more nutrients. The 5 essentials that I am sharing today aren't something I came up with on my own. They came from a midwife whose work I studied as part of my training, and their principles I've personally used and seen applied to my daughter, because we used this in her first pregnancy and we're doing it again.
So the 5 essentials, you can get wheatgrass or you can do liquid chlorophyll. I did liquid chlorophyll my first pregnancy, but this pregnancy I'm doing wheatgrass. This is wheat germ oil, vital herbs, and we have the mineral drink, and red raspberry leaf tea, or the herbal combo tea you can do.
Yeah, and last pregnancy we just had you on the red raspberry tea, but this pregnancy we've actually boosted that to the combo tea, which includes alfalfa and comfrey leaves. We're going to talk a little bit about each one of these and why they're essential in supporting a woman's pregnancy. And I want to start first with the vital herbs. Okay, so the vital herbs that I'm listing come from Dr. Christopher's, who I've studied under. When I'm looking at supplements or anything that I want to do, I want a trusted source that I know. But there are other whole food vitamins that you can get. But I want to also express that when we're talking about vitamins, you'll go to your OBGYN, they'll give you prenatals, and that you might think is just fine. I know when I was pregnant, I thought, okay, that's all I need is that, and I can continue on. But that was back in the day where maybe the food was a little better.
You could have a burger and it wouldn't be totally processed.
Right, it wouldn't come out of a 3D printer. Who knows? No. But not all prenatal vitamins are created equal. There's whole food based versus synthetic. And so I want to explain that first. Many women assume that if something says prenatal on the label, it must automatically be good. But that's not always the case. Some prenatals are formulated to meet minimum requirements, not optimal requirements, mind you, just minimal. They look good on the label rather than truly support absorption, and they rely heavily on synthetic isolated nutrients. Just because something is marketed as prenatal doesn't mean it's supporting the body in the way a pregnancy actually requires. And we don't always think about that. Let's break this down a little bit, synthetic vitamins versus whole foods. So synthetic, as I mentioned, they're isolated nutrients. They're created in a lab. They often mimic only part of the nutrient. And oddly enough, it may require more work from the body to actually process that and get it to where it needs to go. Not everything that you put in your body can absorb. And you think that maybe it will just come out when you go to the bathroom. That's not the case. Your body will often deposit this. And I know we've talked about it a little bit. So when you're talking about synthetics in your body, mind you too, it has to go through the liver. And we talked about the liver and the stress and the strain. This is why you want a good flow in your digestion, is so that things are moving through that liver. They're not getting backed up there. But a lot of times in synthetic vitamins, they just get deposited in your body and they're not used. And they can feel very harsh. But whole food whole food based vitamins, such as this Vital Herbs from Dr. Christopher, they're derived from real food sources. They come with cofactors that your body actually recognizes, and they tend to be gentler on the digestion. And they support nourishment rather than force correction. Something we haven't shared too much of is this guide, Blooming in Pregnancy, that is up on Etsy. This has got all of the information that we've talked about, rooting and nourishment. It also has a section on these 5 essentials, and I want Maddie to share a little bit about what's in there, what are some of the ingredients that we can find in the Vital Herbs, and we're going to talk about why it's important. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's a lot of ingredients, so we're not going to go through all of them. There's about 8+ ingredients in this, but we'll go through a couple of them. For example, we have rose hip, which is a natural source of vitamin C and antioxidants. It supports your immune health, collagen, and tissue healing and iron absorption. We have dandelion root, supports a healthy liver function, digestion, and natural detox. Help with the liver.
Yeah.
Helps the body process the hormones smoothly. We've got kelp in it, which is high in natural iodine and trace minerals, and it supports your thyroid balance, metabolism, and gentle mineral replenishment. We've got, let's see, what's a fun one? We've got blue violet leaf. I've never even heard of this. Traditionally used to support lymphatic flow and calm inflammation and offer gentle nourishment to the tissues.
So there's a lot of ingredients in there that are targeting specific things. Like you mentioned, the blue violet's targeting lymphatic flow. The dandelion's targeting a gentle detox with your liver. You mentioned rosehip, that's providing the vitamin C and with helping with collagen formation. And I would imagine collagen formation at this point and tissue building and all that is very, very important for women who are pregnant. So
collagen is very important. My first pregnancy, I didn't get a single stretch mark. And I didn't even use any like lotions on my body. I had a lotion, and then I looked at it and it had a couple of bad ingredients in it that can, like, give you cancer and whatnot.
oh, just that.
So I was like, okay, I'm not going to use that. So I didn't put anything on my stomach, and that's probably why. Also with the wheat germ we'll go over.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for sharing that, because I know that's a concern with women. They don't want to have stretch marks. I actually did get some stretch marks that still show today on my hips, but I didn't know about this stuff back then. So all of these ingredients work synergistically together to target certain areas of the body that help support the blood, that help support the nervous system, and help support cellular growth. Let's move on to number 2, the wheatgrass or the liquid chlorophyll. Now, Maddie mentioned last pregnancy we had her on the liquid chlorophyll, which is basically the plant's blood, and obviously it is going to do wonders for the bloodstream. What are some of the benefits that you're seeing in the book here?
Yeah, let's go through what it contains. It does contain chlorophyll, calcium, magnesium, potassium, trace minerals, natural enzymes, plant-based iron, and naturally occurring B vitamins.
And we talked about those B vitamins before and how important they are as far as the development of the baby.
Yeah, and the benefits associated with wheatgrass, it will help blood support, your mineral replenishment, the detox. It can help with your pH balance and alkalinity support. Thank you.
Those are some of the great benefits of wheatgrass. And fresh is best, but it's also expensive, and so is the juicer to make it yourself, but you could do it. We found this place called Andy's Way that actually sends bottles that are frozen, which is the next best thing. And so we're trying it this way. This is our first time doing these wheatgrass shots. You only need a tablespoon in the morning and a tablespoon at night, right?
Yeah.
So one of these is going to last you for the day.
Not even just one. One of those will last you for like
2 days?
2.5 days, I
Oh,
think
okay.
it was.
All right, so
I
you can
counted
stretch
it out
them.
a while ago.
They're not cheap. But also, you can also do the alfalfa tabs. But an alternative to this is the chlorophyll, which Maddie used last time. And let's talk a little bit about the chlorophyll.
Yeah, so it helps with travel, nausea, fatigue, a weak appetite. When fresh juicing isn't possible, when wheatgrass tastes too strong, which sometimes. After it goes down your throat, you're a little...
Well, since you've done both, taste-wise, what do you like the best?
Well, it's been almost 2 years since I've done chlorophyll, but the chlorophyll wasn't bad because it had a flavor. I think it was like mint.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It did have a flavor. It was mint chlorophyll. That's right.
Yeah, so it wasn't too bad, to be honest. But after drinking a mint chlorophyll for 9 months, it did get a little bad. But this is definitely more natural tasting, like earth.
Let's move on. The third essential would be wheat germ oil. Wheat germ oil is rich in vitamin E. It supports reproductive tissues, placenta health, and hormone balance. It's fat-soluble nutrient, slow, steady nourishment. What do you have there?
So the benefits associated with wheat germ, we have skin and tissue elasticity, which we went over a little earlier.
Well, you mentioned the fact that you didn't have any stretch marks, so that sort of supports that
It's
claim.
the vitamin E in there. Healthy circulation supports blood flow and heart health. Cellular development, it protects developing cells from oxidative stress and supports your baby's growing tissues, and it helps your hormone balance. Besides vitamin E, it has fatty acids, antioxidants, natural compounds that support circulation, and hormonal nourishment.
Now, we can speak a bunch about hormonal nourishment, and we'll probably do that when we talk about the first trimester and how crazy it's been and how it can be. Okay, keep talking. What does that say about skin health?
It may assist with dryness, itchiness, or stretching skin during pregnancy. I also feel like, it doesn't say in here, but I feel like it helps hair growth.
Very possible.
Yeah. I don't know, something.
All of this combined is helping your hair grow?
Yeah.
This is awesome. Well, I like what it says here about what the role that vitamin E plays.
Yeah, the role that vitamin E plays is it helps with red blood cell formation, protecting cells from damage, maintaining healthy skin, and supporting immune function and muscle and nerve health. Many mothers naturally become low in vitamin E because of the rapid tissue growth and hormonal changes. So wheat germ really helps with that without the synthetic isolates.
Awesome. So you got to get yourself some wheat germ oil, and what we've got here is the Holistic Botanicals. This is cold pressed wheat germ oil. Now they come in capsules, thank heavens, because did you ever try it liquid last time? Did we do the liquid?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we only did capsules, but I could be wrong.
I've tried the liquid wheat germ, and it's nasty tasting. It's very hard to get down, so thanks to whoever put them in capsule form, easier to take.
Every time you burp, it tastes like wheat germ.
Yeah. And you think this is hard going down. All right, let's move on to the next essential, the mineral drink. This is a mineral drink in fulvic acid. This particular brand is called Organa, but you could get any mineral. The same midwife that I was training under noticed that a lot of pregnant women don't have enough minerals, so she added a mineral supplement. I'm talking about Organa because that's the one we found. It's local here to us, and it's got a lot of good ratings. So what kind of minerals are we talking about here?
All right, it's quite a list of minerals. We've got boron,
Let's see. Oh yeah, manganese.
Manganese, never heard of it. Sodium, iron, magnesium, silver, copper, potassium, selenium, chromium, phosphorus, zinc, calcium, molybdenum, and vanadium.
Awesome.
We're going to go through what our bodies rely on minerals for essential functions, which is healthy blood pressure, muscle relaxation, hydration, nerve function, steady energy, hormone balance, sleep, and tissue building.
Yeah, and I would just like to add here too, as blood volume is expanding, your placenta is developing, and new tissues being formed, it's quite the demand on the essentials of trace minerals that naturally rise.
Yeah, your body during pregnancy is expanding blood volume. I think I read something that said that I think it was either in the first trimester or it was during the whole pregnancy, but your blood volume increases by 50%.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah. Forming amniotic fluid, building the placenta, and supporting new tissue growth, stabilizing hormones, and nourishing the nervous system.
Your body's doing a lot right now.
I know.
What are some of the signs if a woman is not, I mean, is deficient in minerals? Yeah.
You can get muscle cramps, headaches, insomnia, fatigue, irritability, swelling, dizziness, poor hydration, restless legs, and constipation.
Okay. Did you check any of those boxes?
Yes.
Look at your mineral.
Now, but I did
You have.
a little while ago before I had buckwheat.
Oh, well, buckwheat's got to be added to your essentials, I feel like.
I think so. Yeah, so the benefits, it can improve your hydration. Minerals help water absorb into the cells instead of passing through the body so quickly. The nervous system support, magnesium and potassium help calm overstimulation and improving your mood and relaxation. And it helps with tissue and bone health. It helps build the baby's bones and protects the mother's reserves because babies do take your bones from you.
You probably read that somewhere too and know that, huh?
Yep, I learned that they can really destroy your bones, your teeth. I've seen moms like lose all of their teeth during pregnancy.
If your body doesn't have enough calcium, your baby's going to start leaching it from you. Okay, the last one is our red raspberry leaf tea. It's traditional for uterine support.
Yeah.
It has mineral-rich herbs in there. It tones, it strengthens, it prepares. What does the red raspberry contain?
It contains calcium, magnesium, potassium, iron, vitamins B, C, and E, gentle plant compounds that support reproductive tissue. And those nutrients, they support your uterus, kidneys, blood, nerves, and digestion, making it one of the most well-rounded herbs for pregnancy.
Awesome.
If you do just the straight red raspberry tea, it can help with mineral nourishment, steady uterine support, improved hydration, kidney support, more stable energy, healthier digestion, and reduced tension in the pelvic muscles. If you want the tea blend, which would be the comfrey, alfalfa, and red raspberry leaf tea, it would help with everything that we just said because of the red raspberry, along with deeply nourish reproductive tissues, provide abundant natural minerals, support kidney health, strengthen the uterus, and it supports connective tissue health, builds steady energy, and it assists in preparing for birth. It helps your hormones, your mood support, your nervous system, your digestive comfort. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's about it.
Well, awesome. So that wraps up our 5 essentials. And also in this guide is a little quick reference guide. We talked about them, but we didn't talk about how to take them. And so in this book, there is a daily rhythm of how to implement that in your day and of amounts and when to take them. And I just want to ask Maddie here, how is the flow for you? Have you found a daily rhythm for you? What's working?
I do find a flow with every single one of these, besides the tea, because it's so... Like right now, I could probably drink it fine because I'm not feeling nauseous. But sometimes when I just think about the taste, I'm not a tea drinker, but it's hard to get into a rhythm with the tea because it is so potent. And
you find that honey or combining different things help?
Honey and adding in some peppermint tea. But right now, I don't think I can talk about it because I'm just imagining the
Right
smell.
now, you're like, I'm starting to feel those like reflexes of wanting to puke.
But I try it. I try.
Well, that's just it. You want to try to do the best you can. We'll put this quick reference guide as a freebie on the description once we... Okay. Before we end today's episode, I want to bring in a couple of things that Maddie is taking that supports her specific scenarios. Every pregnancy is different. Every woman's needs going to be a little bit different. And so what we've decided with Maddie is we put her on an herbal calcium. And when you're talking about calcium, obviously I'm going to go the whole foods way, all the way. I don't necessarily agree with getting calcium from dairy because again, the body doesn't assimilate that very well and it just gets deposited into your joints, and then we get stiff joints, we get inflammation, we get arthritis. It's a whole thing. I'm not going to go into that. But the nice thing about what your body does with this is your body takes what it needs and it discards the rest. So you can't OD on anything like this. But because of what Maddie mentioned about babies leaching calcium out of a body that doesn't have enough calcium, we wanted to put her on that. And then another thing too is because the hormones are absolutely crazy right now, we put her on a hormonal Changes to help balance that, and a female reproductive to add additional support to her reproductive organs. Maddie, if you don't mind me sharing, you've experienced a lot of depression. Does that surprise you?
Oh, no, not really. I have a history with depression, so I feel like anytime my hormones get out of whack, I probably, I mean, at this point, I'm just used to it.
Well, we don't want you to get used to being depressed, and that's got to be
No.
the way you live your life. We want to try to stabilize those hormones as best we can, and so that's why we put her on those. And again, this is a thing where she can't take too much of it because her body will take what it needs and discard the rest. So something you can take away from our episode today is that these essentials are on top of the foundation of the whole foods. They fill in the gaps and they provide that extra support a woman's body needs during pregnancy. Do you have anything to add?
I don't. I think we went through everything very well, and it's extremely important to be taking more than just the prenatals, in my opinion, anyways, and factually, because even if you take the prenatals, like, how healthy are you being, for real?
Right, yeah. Are you, is your diet still the same and you're thinking that your prenatals are going to take care of everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, even if you are being healthy, like we talked about, the nutritional value of most food today, like oranges or anything, is so much less than what they used to be.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
I hope that everybody listening has found it helpful, and I encourage you all to try to think about your nutrition with the intention of doing better, and maybe setting those goals every day for yourself of how you want to go into your day with your food and with your supplements. And if you've got any questions, any comments, we'd love to hear them, any experiences that you've had. Our next episode is going to be about movement and exercise. We will see you then. All right, well, thank you, everybody. Have a good day.
Thank you.